Are you a military leader that's looking for a way to better organize your thoughts? Are you looking for help diagnosing a problem? Or do you know a way of solving a problem that the military has? Well, stay with us today, for on this episode of the Evolving Warfighter, we're going to talk about the art of writing and how it has several benefits to military leaders. Welcome back to the Evolving Warfighter. My name is Dr. Franklin Annis, and today we'll be talking about writing as a means to improve your self-development. How many times have you heard in your career a soldier say, "I know all about the subject of X, but I just don't know how to write about it"? Usually when I hear that, I realize that soldier probably doesn't know very much about that subject if they can't write about it. One of the reasons why colleges and universities assign writing assignments is it forces an individual to organize their thoughts about a certain subject. If you have an individual basically claiming to know something, but they're unable to write a solid paper on that topic, it's usually because their ideas are unorganized. This is one of the main indications that they should go back, restudy the material, take time thinking about that subject, so they can organize in their mind a means of writing about the subject. This is why it's such an effective technique in college and university assignments. If I give you a writing assignment about an unknown topic, you have to study it to a level of mastery where you understand the larger context of the subject. Until you can organize the thought process in your mind, you won't be able to write a very clear and logical paper. For this reason, I recommend that you consider writing things that you're not quite sure or comfortable that you have a good understanding of. It will force you to study it to enough detail that you can start putting down an outline and logically organizing your thoughts about the topic. This is a great assignment for younger soldiers that may be struggling with certain aspects of their military education. The U.S. military has recognized the importance of writing as a means of communication to the point where they've added writing assignments inside their NCO and their officer developmental programs. Whether we love it or we hate it, writing is a critical aspect of military leadership. Whether we're writing emails or operation orders, the skill of writing is critical to military leaders. The more we write, the more we receive feedback about our writing, the more we'll refine and improve our writing style and capabilities. For this reason, I encourage everyone to consider writing to be published. There are several reasons to write as a military leader. One, it can help you define a problem that you're facing and put that problem out to the larger military community seeking for help finding a solution. Another reason is if you have a proposed solution in mind for a problem, you can expose it to the larger community to get feedback into whether or not the solution would work, and more importantly, to get buy-in from senior leaders to try to get your solution enacted. Another reason to get published inside the military is for notoriety. You may be an expert or a master at any given subject inside the military, but if no one knows that you have mastery in that area, it doesn't help the larger community. The more you write and the more you publish, the more you announce yourself as an individual of knowledge and expertise. This will increase the likelihood of individuals basically coming to you for help. This might actually add to your mastery in the long term, because the more you get questions or concerns brought to you by the outside military, the more you're likely to engage at a more and more detailed level inside that subject to gain more and more mastery. In other words, the more you publish on a given area, and the more time you spend researching and collaborating with other individuals trying to either define problems or find solutions, the more likely you are to truly become an expert and master in that area. Obviously, establishing your notoriety is likely to give you many benefits in your military career. This will likely lead to you be given more and more positions of authority and responsibility. You're more likely to receive awards for your achievements and your ideas to improve the military, and you're more likely to receive promotion because you're simply being recognized and embraced as an expert in the larger military community. This can go far to outcompete your peers if they're not publishing or writing or sharing their knowledge. Obviously, an individual brave enough to write, take criticism, refine their ideas, continue to publish, is more likely to be a good leader than those that try to hoard their knowledge and information on any given topic. If you're looking for ideas on how to get started writing, I have two for you. Consider writing about a problem that you're facing. Or number two, consider writing about a possible solution for a problem. If you're trying to write about a problem, please sit down and write about the problem and define it in as high as level detail as possible. The advantages of writing about problems are twofold. Number one, it will allow the larger community to tell you if you define the problem correctly. A lot of times there's factors that you may not consider when you're writing or dealing or thinking about the problem. Other members of the military community might give you more information so you can better understand the problem at hand, which may lead to better solutions. The second positive outcome that comes from writing about problems is the fact that you're going to have members of the community contacting you and writing you about possible solutions for the problems that you're facing. This might give you ideas to try to address your specific problem. Second, if you're writing about a possible solution to a problem, I ask you to take your time defining the problem and defining what you believe to be the causes of the problem. When you write about your solutions, connect the solutions that you're recommending back to what you believe to be the causes of the problem. There's a lot of times that we as writers believe that we're making a message clear. However, when the audience sits down and read it, it may not be clear. For this reason, if you try to define the problem as well as possible, define what you believe is causing the problem, and then clearly connect your solutions back to the problem, it may aid the audience in seeing your actual virtue of your possible solution. If you're recommending a solution to a problem, I have to tell you in advance you need to have thick skins. A lot of things can happen. First of all, we may not have defined the problem correctly, and this may affect how you go about finding the solution. You're likely to receive a lot of criticism from the audience whenever you're suggesting a proposal to find a solution. This is particularly true if your proposal to find a solution varies to a high degree from what's already established inside doctrine. Whenever you receive criticism, try to take it as a positive, constructive force. It is very often that articles on the first review of a journal may deny that article being published. Instead of giving up and thinking your ideas are bad, try to take criticism back. How can I improve my writing? How can I make my point across? How can I better connect my possible solutions with the problem at hand? How can I improve the writing style so it's easier to understand? How can I shape this article so it's something more like what the publishers are trying to publish? And this will help you into the future. If for some reason that you end up suggesting a possible solution to the problem and you receive criticism that it's entirely wrong, first of all, take a deep breath. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's very unlikely that on the first draft any possible solution or theory is going to be optimized. Almost every writing needs to be refined over the course of several iterations. When you receive the criticism feedback, try not to take it personally. A lot of us get very connected with our works, and it's understandable. We invest a lot of time and effort in our writings to make them good. So when we receive negative feedback, it's very often that we reflect internally, I'm not good enough, my work is not good enough. However, if we have weaknesses in our arguments or our writing style, consider redrafting or making another article. It's actually beneficial to the community to write a series of articles demonstrating what new information you've gained when you're attempting to find a solution. This will show junior soldiers that, well, learning inside the military is truly a collaborative environment. That we can take in information, we can change our minds, and we can adapt to the new information given. Younger soldiers can read your series of articles and realize, oh, we've had leaders that had bad ideas in the past, but the more they put their ideas out in front of the community, and the more they receive input back and criticism, the more they refine and repair their ideas, until we're left with something that's very solid and very useful to the United States military. To maximize your chance of getting published, take a look at your writing and determine what publishers are most likely to publish you. If you've written a short article, say under 1,600 words, and it's mostly just your personal opinion and has little outside references, consider posting on one of the several blogs that you can find on Facebook concerning military leadership. If your writing is longer than the 1600 word mark and is fairly well cited, you might consider other journals, such as the Small Wars Journal. Now, if you've invested considerable amount of time into your work and it's over 10 pages, it's very academic in its quality, and you have multiple sources, consider putting your writing through the test of peer review. This might be putting it through a university journal, such as the Army University Press or any of the civilian publications. Peer review will literally take your paper, send it to other experts into the field, and they'll have a chance to comment and refine and help you work to shape the best article possible. Be aware that this type of publishing takes the most amount of time. I know from my own personal experience, attempting to get published through peer review can take well over a year. So if you have a very time-sensitive issue or problem at hand that you want to get rapidly in front of, well, basically an audience or other soldiers, consider publishing in kind of the lesser-known journals that are more likely to push out your work relatively quickly. However, once again, if you invested hundreds of hours into this work, it's thoroughly cited, and say it was something that you produced through a college writing program or one of your college courses, consider sending it through a more esteemed journal to gain you that notoriety for your work. While the desire for immortality shouldn't be the primary drive for getting them published, it may actually be one of the results. Many of the great military leaders of the past are well known because they left writing. Either they were recognized early in their career for their writing and their ideas, or they left notable written materials about their experiences in the military. Think about it. Obviously, first-hand written words from military veterans are so much more valuable in military history compared to the second-hand collection of military history book writers decades later. So if nothing else, you writing about the problems that you're having inside the military and possible solutions to the problem you're facing may be a living legacy that your great-grandchildren look back on to remember you well into the future. For all these reasons and many more, writing is an exceptional tool for self-development. This is why I recommend that all military leaders consider writing and especially publishing. The act of writing will help us organize our ideas. The practice of writing will improve our writing techniques. Especially through the art of getting published, we will receive deep insights and criticisms about our ideas. We'll either improve our writing style and the way we communicate, or we'll improve the ideas within inside our articles that we're publishing. And years from now, maybe our writings, our ideas, and our articles might be remembered as pivotal moments inside the military history. Prove the old adage that the pen is mightier than the sword. With the high-stakes nature of modern military warfare, your writings and your ideas might be the method of saving lives and winning the next war. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. I encourage you to subscribe to the Evolving Warfighter for more articles and videos concerning the topic of military self-development. Until next time, I encourage you to focus on your self-development so we can ensure that we can dominate the modern battlefield.